I just remembered why I moved back to Japan.
Marintia's mum's from Japan and dad's from Ghana, and she was born in Japan, raised in Ghana, a bit in Canada, and then she lived in America before dropping out of Georgia Tech and moving back to Ghana. She owns a coconut farm in Ghana and has a successful YouTube channel. Let's find out why she wanted to leave Ghana. So we've not seen each other in 2.5 years. Can you believe it? Okay, let's rewind for anyone who has never seen us ever before. Me, you, Nabuke, and Anna, we all lived in Ghana. We were all creating content on YouTube. And then in the same year, everybody left.
Yeah.
Or did Anna left first? She moved to the Netherlands.
Yeah.
She moved to Japan. And I moved to Scotland. And Nabuke moved to London.
Yeah.
So basically everyone scattered at the same time. And I'd say that Anna started it. So why did you move back to Japan?
Why did I move to Japan? I mean, honestly, like I always wanted to move to America, but I'm not American. So you need like a visa, school, or a purpose to be there. So at that point in time, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be in Ghana right now. I kind of want to expand in a different place. And Japan was really the only option because that's my other passport.
So you were born in Japan, right? I mean, we have actually got part one, which was done about 4 years ago. But Marintia was born in Japan, grew up in Ghana. So, so you wanted to... Why did you want to leave Ghana, though?
I feel like for people who want to do work in social media and entertainment, it's just starting out in Ghana, so the opportunities are less here. And I feel like even though I started YouTube out here and with YouTube it did grow, if I want to do music and other things, I figured it'd be best for me to go somewhere and do a bit of it before coming back and then going out again. So I was like, Japan would be a good place to do that. But to be fair, right, that wasn't even the main reason I moved back to Japan. I just remembered why I moved back to Japan. So the last time I was in Ghana, I have the whole autoimmune condition, and the treatment that I was doing in Ghana wasn't working. So I had to go to Japan to go and figure out what am I gonna do with treatment because that was the only treatment available in Ghana.
So what autoimmune do you have?
It's called axial spondyloarthritis and Crohn's disease. So they're all under like the autoimmune condition thing. Crohn's is like stomach related and arthritis are like joints. Yeah.
And how did you find out that you had that? And when did you find out you had that?
So, I've not been interviewed in so long. I feel like this is so professional.
We are doing a news out.
And also, I've not filmed a YouTube video in so long. I don't think I've filmed in years. Yeah, but what was your question?
How when did you find out you had your autoimmune?
So literally, I was in college and my hips started hurting. So at first, it was just like a little limp. And then 4 days later, I could not walk. So I could not move. I couldn't stand up from the bed. And I was going to the hospital at first, and they just gave me steroid injections. And then eventually, after getting a bunch of steroid injections like every 4 days, which is not good, I remembered a year ago I had gone to the hospital, the eye doctor, because my eyes were all of a sudden really sensitive to light, and I couldn't really look around. So then I remember when I went to the hospital that time, they were like, I would think you have an autoimmune condition, but you don't have any joint pain, so I don't think you have it, was what they told me. So I remember that, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is probably an autoimmune thing. So I told the doctor person that, can I get a recommendation to a autoimmune specialist, rheumatologist, and then went to the rheumatologist place, and they were like, yeah, you have this. And then when I was in Japan, a year later, when I got admitted for the stomach thing, they were like, oh, you also have this, which is the Crohn's part. But they're all under the same umbrella.
And are these lifelong conditions?
That's what they say, Yeah, it's supposed to be lifelong, but then if your conditions or your symptoms get less and less, maybe you can reduce your treatment. Yeah.
So how was that for you? Obviously, you went from just living your life as normal to now having a condition and being here when you had it here, it was debilitating at times.
Yeah.
You couldn't do anything sometimes.
Yeah, literally the last time you were in Ghana, was particularly like the time I used to get sick the most. Because I remember this week when I went to the coconut farm, I was telling my dad, oh, the last time I came with Vanessa, I remember, I think it was like 2 days before I got sick. So it was like I had a little bit of the symptoms, but I wasn't really, really sick yet. It was like my memory from like the last trip that we went on. So I was like, this year I have zero problems because now my medication is working. But back then, I literally would only, after I get my treatment, which was Remicade, it's an IV. You sit there for 2 hours, you get this IV. It's supposed to last for 2 to 3 months. But for me, it was only lasting 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks, I wouldn't be able to like walk, move, and all my joints, so like my jaw, so I can't really chew, and I can't tie my hair. Like I can't really use my joints basically. And then later on, when my stomach also was starting to have an issue, basically like stomach problems too. So
I mean, it's so sad. But how did you feel? Yeah, like when, you went from living life with no pain to basically living in pain.
Okay, so you know how like they say like in a breakup, right? Like when two people break up, like a guy and a girl, you know how they say like the girl takes... Wait, who takes longer? They say the girl takes longer to get over it, right? And the guy gets over it really quickly, but then after like a month, they really now go through the breakup, is what they say for guys, right? I feel like I went through a guy breakup situation with getting sick because when I was sick, right, it was peak my YouTube starting and growing. So even though I was sick, I was just so focused on like work and stuff. I emotionally wasn't really affected at all. Like the whole time I was sick, I was like planning about what I'm gonna do once I'm not sick. And then once I'm not sick, I go on like a sprint of like filming a bunch of videos. And I was kind of like, okay, everything was cool. I think like when I went back to Japan and the stomach stuff happened, I think after that was like when I went through like the second phase of like, I'm just so annoyed by this whole situation. Because like number one, I used to just be so... I just like doing things myself. And I hate having to rely on other people and not being able to do what I plan to do. So I feel like that happened. So when I got the medication that was working for me, I think I went through a 2-year bender of partying and doing everything I wanted that I didn't do. So when I moved to Japan, literally, I got my right medication.
So what was it that worked?
Right now, I do Humira.
So what is that? Is it like, do you have to go into the hospital to do it, or do you do it yourself?
So they give you an injection that you do by yourself at home every 2 weeks for me. And
does it hurt?
No.
Oh, right, okay.
It hurts when I lose weight.
Oh, right.
Because, yeah, like when I gain weight, I have more fat to like pinch to like do the thing too. But like if I lose weight, it's a little bit, but it's still fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not really.
So do you now have like symptoms?
Yes and no. So basically the treatment helps with the problem that I have, but the medication stops your immune system from working because it's my immune system causing the problem. So like I have other problems. Like if I get a scar, it doesn't really heal for a long time because like my immune system is not there. But to be fair, right, my body is weird though, because even with like this immune system stopping medication and like other stuff, I really should take care of my body more, but I really have been doing what like all my friends and we do, and I'm kind of like still chilling, so I'm kind of okay right now. Yeah. Okay. Long story short, basically I drink and go out and I'm kind of fine, for now.
Are you meant to like drink? Do they give you any guidance on those things?
I mean, obviously like drinking is not recommended for anyone that's in life, even if you're healthy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so they're not gonna tell, but it's not like a condition that's like caused by drinking or like or like I'm not supposed to drink with my medication or anything. It's just like just be healthy or because But I think I've been super lucky because they told me that a lot of people like get colds often, get sick often, and I don't get sick or anything.
Oh, so great. Well, I'm glad you found something that works and that you're able to just like do what you want to do,
Thank you.
So you moved back to Japan and obviously you were sorting out your health stuff and you say you were just like partying like there's no tomorrow. So I've never been to Japan, but it's up there as like, as you know, it's like one of the places I'm desperate to visit. But the things that hold me back are the distance and also the time difference. So I think the distance isn't so bad, but it's like, but the time difference, like adjusting there and then adjusting when I get home, just because I have kids. If I didn't have kids, it wouldn't be a big deal. Anyway, so what I want to know is, what is it like living there? What's the differences between living in Japan versus living in Ghana? Like when you get there, what are you really like, oh my gosh, I really miss this or whatever?
So I grew up in Ghana most of my life, and I only spent middle school in Japan. And I always had in my mind that my dream city to live in was New York, right? I was like, I don't want to be in Ghana. I don't want to be in Japan. I want to live in New York. And then when I was in college, that's when like I started feeling like, oh, I actually miss Ghana a lot. I love Ghana. But it makes sense because I grew up here, so I was just probably a little bit homesick. But throughout my whole life, I was like, I'm not going to live in Japan. Like, I could never imagine me, number one, being in the workforce in Japan, which makes sense because I'm not in the workforce, even though I live there right now. And I could just not imagine like having to live day to day with like being like, oh, I need to be worried about how I'm seen or this, that, and the other. Because I guess I was a kid, so I was a lot more sensitive to like thinking that if I go to Japan, I'm going to be considered a foreigner constantly, right? But then, I mean, sure, yes, but also times are different from when I was a kid to now in Japan. Now Tokyo is filled with a bunch of mixed kids and a bunch of like African, Asian, Caribbean, Asian, like children. We have a lot of opportunities because we're mixed, and it's kind of an environment that we have a lot of perks thanks to our background now, more than it being a demerit as it would have been when I was younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually there's not as much discrimination.
Yeah. So living there is really nice. And I never thought I'd enjoy living there. It's really nice once you find your community, because when I went back last time, I didn't know a single person apart from maybe one childhood friend. So I didn't know anyone in Japan. But once you find your community, Japan is so fun. Number one, I think there's a community for everyone. I feel like in Ghana, you have to be in a particular group or demographic of type of person to have the Ghana experience of what people have in mind, like with Deti December and stuff. But Japan, really anyone can have fun. And that's why also a lot of younger people enjoy being there, because right now, Ghana is so expensive. Almost all my young friends from Ghana that are in Japan, they know that if you're coming to Ghana, you need to have money to have fun. Whereas in Japan, you can have fun for so cheap. You don't have to have money to have fun. Okay. So there's like a way to have fun for every type of person. It's so convenient. You don't have to deal with a lot of the day-to-day stress that you might have to deal in Ghana with like light off or medical care. Like in Ghana, I wouldn't have been able to get the treatment that I'm getting there now.
Oh, right.
Because they said I would have to get it from South Africa, which is very expensive. Right.
So would you have to like fly to South Africa to get it?
I would have to import the medication, which like there's only one place here through which you can do it through, and it's like expensive. The cost is in dollars, and there's no insurance for it. So then it would just not even be realistic if you can't afford it, you know what I mean? And it's just so expensive because it's not something that ends after one purchase. So you have to keep doing it for the next tens of years. It just doesn't make sense. So hence why I went back to Japan. I like the treatment now because I can bring it to Ghana. It's an injection, so it's convenient. But living in Japan is really nice. The food is amazing. There's a lot of things to do for kids. You would love it, Vanessa. I know the time difference is daunting. Also, you are vegetarian.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of vegetarian options now because a lot of tourists are coming to Japan.
Okay.
So I think you'd have an amazing time. The thing is, it's one country that any age group can have fun, you know? Like, I feel like Anna in Ghana, she was like, what are my kids gonna do if I'm gonna go out? Literally, Japan, your kids can go here. We can all go, you know, there's
amazing.
There's so you should come.
No, I do. I actually really want to come.
Yeah.
I will come at some point. Yeah.
You're asking me these questions about what I'm doing in Japan. And to be fair, like, they're fun things, but realistically, you had a kid, like, in this
Yeah, I literally have a child that Marintia's never met before because we've not seen each other in 2.5 years.
The thing is that this video can go so many ways because you and I just talking about the differences in our girlhood, because you know right now the whole word girlhood is trending on like
is it?
TikTok.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So like this is peak difference in range in girlhood, because if we summarize what we were up to in the past 2 years, it will be so different.
Yeah, I mean, I've literally been changing nappies and just driving my kids, being an Uber driver for my children, and you've been partying and I don't know what else.
I've not only been partying, okay?
Oh yeah, maybe.
I'm not.
No, but to be honest, it is interesting because like I feel like. If you've never had a child before, it's hard to like imagine what it would really be like. But it's like a 24-hour commitment to your children. Like as in every single day and night.
Wow.
I'm looking after them, and I sleep in the same bed as the littlest one because I've co-slept with all of them until they were like 2. So like if he wakes up in the night, I'm just there, and I'm just so like I've just never had a full night's sleep.
I think it would be way more interesting to hear your parenting than me partying in Japan over the past 2 years. I really feel like that would have more value. But you know what started the party thing though is really randomly interesting because in high school when everyone around me started going out, I didn't really go out.
Why?
Back then. I don't know. I was so focused on getting into a good college.
So really it's like delayed.
Yeah, so I think everything was really delayed. But also with partying in Japan, it was literally the best thing I could have done because like I said, I didn't know a single person. Even my mom, who's Japanese, wasn't in Japan. So when I would go to Tokyo, I don't live exactly in Tokyo. I live like 30 minutes away. When I would go to Tokyo, I would just literally go and film videos and go into bars, and that's how I would meet people. And that was how I met every single person that I know now and all the networking and connections that led to the events that I'm doing. And maybe I should tell people more than partying, because guys, please, I promise, I wasn't just drinking alcohol. Hey, please, no, my mom is also watching. No, I didn't just go and drink alcohol, okay? I went to Japan over the course of the past year. Like, different things I've done are I got to shoot AO and
like this is like a CV now.
Let me quickly cover up. And guys, I wasn't partying, okay? Basically, what I went to do was I shot a vlog for AO and Teo. They're very big artists in America, and that was really cool for me because I was working on music the whole time I was in Japan. I promise. I was working on music as I was in these clubs. So I was working on music, so I wanted to be able to film an artist's vlog to be able to see their life. So that was one cool thing I did. I got to translate for Neo on stage. That was also cool. I did my first performance this year. That was also really cool. What else have I done?
I mean, amazing. That's so cool. So yeah, Marintia is basically going down the music route.
Yeah, I'm gonna do music.
And she's going to be the next biggest
I don't know about
artist
I don't know about that.
the next biggest Japanese Ghanaian artist in the world.
What if I'm the only Japanese Ghanaian artist?
Well, that's why, all right?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
So, okay, so I have a question, right? So anybody who's going to Tokyo, where should they go out?
It depends on the age group. So the younger... Hey, I almost just...
For you, where's your favorite places to go?
No, there's people younger than me, so I was just like, damn, I almost aged myself because I am like in the middle now. I feel like I'm in the middle now. But anyways, I am, because you have to realize my cousin joined me in Japan last year, and now my friend group is like 20 to 30-year-old, right? And I'm 25. I'm right in the middle. So
look, I've been aged out. I'm over 30, so I'm actually a pensioner to Marintia.
No, you're not. You're not. You're not. You're not. Vanessa, I always tell you I would not have even known. Anyways, so for the for the 16th, no, what's the legal age? 20. In Japan, the legal...
20?
Yes. The legal age to drink in Japan is 20. So for the 20-year-olds to like the 23, 4, 5-year-olds, the cheapest place with most fun, it's a little bit ratchet to party, is Shibuya. That's the hub. That's where the Shibuya crossing is. Fast and Furious was shot there. That has a bunch of touristy things to do. Daytime, nighttime is a lot of fun regardless. Boom. The red light district is in Shinjuku. If you want to experience something you can't experience in other countries, I want to see a little bit of like, ooh, this is sketchy, but this is like a different. If you want to experience like the host clubs and the...
What's host club?
Basically, if you're female, you go to the host clubs and you can pick which guy you like, and you get assigned to a table with him, and then he basically has to entertain you and your friends that night.
So hang on,
Not sexually.
Is this a random, or is this like he's paid by the club?
So let me explain how crazy and different life is in Japan, right? So at this point now in time, host people, and their female version is called kyabajo. They're now considered influencers. Like they have hella followers on Instagram, and they're popular now because they're also like very attractive, and they get popular based off of like amount of sales they get, right? So a lot of these guys, they make millions of dollars a night. So these rich female CEOs might come there with their friends. They'll buy expensive, like tens and $1,000 champagne bottles, and they get commission based off of that. And they sit there, entertain you, It's a really big industry in Japan. So sometimes people who come and visit Japan just want to experience it, so they go with their friends. But also, it's just really in the culture there.
I have never ever heard of this before.
The male guys go to the place where they pick a female, and the female is kind of like sitting at the table and talking and interacting.
So it's like a friend, or it's like an escort.
Think of it as like a very VIP bar where you have a bartender for every customer across the bar. Right. So it's like that kind of feel.
So do they sit with you?
Yeah.
And bring you drinks?
There's another person who's like a butler who brings you drinks.
So have you been to these?
So the thing is, I've never been because I really want to vlog my first experience, but obviously they don't allow filming to just anyone. The videos I've seen of those places are like usually really big YouTubers in Japan who film like, oh, going to da-da-da. So I'd have to have a little bit more clout. So guys, go and subscribe to my YouTube channel so, we have a little bit more motion.
I'm like, wow, this sounds so interesting. Another like misconception, I don't think it's a misconception because I've asked you before, is this thing about cheating in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
So I saw like a TikTok and it basically said that it's what is the, like, it's allowed basically.
So what I just mentioned, the host club and the cabajos, right? That's not anything to do with sexual stuff. There are maybe members of that community who go to afters. It's called afters, basically after the place closes. If you are a really expensive customer, they might go to a second bar. Whatever happens from that one is off the record. I don't know what happens. I don't know, guys. Don't come and ask me. I'm just a girl. Okay, but for there's places called fuzoku in Japan, which is like brothels.
All right.
Right.
So are they legal?
I think they must be because they're everywhere and they're literally so open. So I guess they are. I don't know. Please Google. I'm not Google. But from the popular interview, you must have seen the TikTok reel. It was a guy asking two ladies if they consider, if they would be okay with their man cheating. And I think one of them said it's okay if they go to fuzoku, meaning that it's not someone from their personal life and it's just for a sexual like transaction. They're okay with it because it has no feelings involved, but they would consider it cheating if the guy did it with someone he knew.
Right. In Japan then, like, is there any African or Black owned businesses that you encounter that you can like promote for anyone visiting Japan?
Guys, you really should be paying me for this, but I'll put you on, I guess. So fun story. Actually, one of my first big videos in Japan was called Japanese People React to Afrobeat. And it was a video of me and my friends going around nightlife in Japan, asking people to react to Afrobeat for the first time. And when we were walking around, I saw a TV outside of a bar playing Davido's music video. So I was like, oh, there's an Afrobeat video playing in Japan. What? This was, mind you, 2 weeks into me coming back to Japan. So I didn't even think people listen to Afrobeats in Japan. Wrong, because there's a bunch of Afro Amapiano events in Japan constantly. But I entered the bar. There was a Nigerian bar owner inside. Mind you, he didn't really mind me the first time I went, but I posted that video because that video did quite well. A lot of people went to his bar from that video, and then I started going there frequently, and it's a Nigerian-owned Afrobeat bar. There's a lot of clubs.
And what's it called?
Pyramid 55. Pyramid 55.
Okay.
Yes. Also R3, R2 in Roppongi. It's really cool for African stuff, African-owned, I believe.
And what about food? I actually sent Marintia Keith Lee going to this like Jamaican food stall thing, and you were like, oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like Caribbean food places. There's this one popular place, I think it's called Goodwood Terrace in Shibuya, and also for like Ghanaian food, African Home Touch in Roppongi. Those are like the popular ones. But also if you like clubbing, all the time there's a club. Oh, I forget the name of the club. Wow, it's really not been that long since I came back, literally. Anyways, in Roppongi, there's a Nigerian food truck that comes and they sell jollof and jerk chicken and plantain in the food truck at like 5 a.m. So you can't get it if you're a normal person. You can only get it if you like partying, basically. But you get it when you just come down to the club. The food truck's right there and it's perfect.
Oh, amazing. And is there a lot of Ghanaians and Nigerians there?
There's a lot of Ghanaians, Nigerians, Caribbean people, and their offsprings mixed. So there's a lot of just like international people. Also, Japan's borders were closed for the longest time. So once it opened, now there's just a lot of foreigners.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, they closed for tourists, and that was such a sad time because we would have probably gone at that time. You know, like before I had the last baby, now I'm pregnant with number 4. But anyway, you know, like when we were all living here, if it was open there, we definitely would have gone.
100%. I mean, when I first went back, when we separated in Ghana, when I went back, it was still like COVID restrictions. So, like when I did the first Japanese People React, if you look at the video, the streets are quite empty, and now they're packed.
Okay.
So Yes.
Aww. Well, yeah, so sorry, did I even mention we're back here? I'm just here for a few days. You're also just here for
I'm just here for like a short time, but we need
we need like a full reunion with the four of us one day.
Guys, comment down below what country you would want to see us travel to, because we've done the Ivory Coast vlogs, and I think it would be nice to do an Asia edition for sure. Honestly,
Marentia's been trying to push for this Asia edition meet up for like literally years.
Yeah. No, but honestly, I feel like with our friendship, right? A little bit of context of how we became friends. Vanessa was doing YouTube when I already met her, and I had less than 1,000 subscribers, and I think I DM'd you to interview you or something like that.
Are you sure I didn't DM you?
Because I vividly remember I was the one, like I vividly remember you asking me after I finished your interview, you asked me, can I also interview you for my channel? I have a feeling I remember that.
Right, I'm actually going to look through our DMs because this is serious, right?
Anyways, that's how we became friends, right? And I feel like our friendship group, right, if we did content, if we did anything, it'd be interesting because we provide such 4 different POVs, right? Because in a normal life, you and I wouldn't have been friends if we both didn't do YouTube. And what other life would we meet?
Excuse me, you know, some things are destined to be, and I think we would have been
Destiny, woo!
No.
11/11. The stars align.
Yeah, no, I guess like we're different ages.
Where was I gonna meet you at the daycare with my non-existent baby? Like, well, how was I gonna become?
No, you are right. Like
at the club, I was gonna find you there.
We are totally like I'm almost 10 years older than you. Oh my gosh! So I'm 32.
I'm 25.
And you're so
you're 7 years older.
Yeah, that's like quite a distance. Oh, you win. But thank you so much for
yes. I remember, guys. Okay, this is what happened. So I had just started YouTube. I must have only posted like so basically school got closed. So as soon as school got closed, this is how much I like money. Listen, as soon as school got closed, the next day I started dropping YouTube video every day. Pum. So when I started dropping it, I remember because you had a lot of subscribers, your comment would go to the top, and I was like, oh my gosh, I had like 500 maybe subscribers. You had like thousands. I was like, oh, there's a famous person who commented under my video. I was like, let me find her Instagram and DM her right away was what I did.
Oh, that's so nice. So yeah, you said thank you so much for the love on my channel. If you're in Ghana, let's definitely make something happen. Because I remember like finding your channel and being like, she's so good. Like basically I can see talent before it's big. And then I said, no problem, love your channel. Oh, this is actually sickening. Yes, I'd love to. I'm around, blah, blah, blah.
Long story short, isn't life
Long story short, your memory is better than mine.
Thank you.
And
as expected, because you are 7 years older than me.
So old. No, so we did the call first, and then we must have met the next time we were in. Long and short of it is that it's been a great time knowing you, and I'm glad we got to see each other again.
I know.
After 2.5 years, and I'm so sad that, you know, when are we going to see each other again? You know what I mean? It's like the unknown here because we live in opposite ends of the world.
That is true, but I do like the fact that we both have flexibility. We don't work.
I think you have maybe a bit more flexibility than me, but yeah.
No, well,
I have flexibility in my mind. Like, I'm very spontaneous.
Okay. What's stopping you then, Vanessa?
Well, apart from the fact I'm pregnant and I can't fly after 37 weeks.
Right. That's scary. I'm even scared that you came to Ghana this time. I'm scared.
Oh, by the way, did you know that Marintia is scared of pregnant people?
Okay,
and I forgot. No. And I think you have a specific fear that we're going to face today, which is being in a lift, like an elevator with a pregnant person.
Now, you see, I would have actually been totally fine going on it before, but now you mentioned it, I need to go with Amma and you. Like, I actually cannot.
Nah, this is hilarious.
Because now you've made me nervous because now you manifested it into the universe and I cannot be out here and trying to deliver a baby in an elevator.
No, it's not happening.
Oh my gosh. Vanessa, let me explain something about life, okay? For me, when I feel like something is going to happen, it really does.
Okay, don't think that.
No, not you. I'm talking about the fact that when I was a kid, I really thought it was going to happen, like, at some point in my life.
Right, like, let's stop talking about it because
yes.
that cannot happen today.
Okay,
do you know what I mean?
Period. Period.
Anyway, thank you
Yes.
for being a friend.
No, can we talk about something before we end this? First of all, there was no intention behind this video, right? But I just need to talk about this. Now I've even forgotten what I was going to talk about.
Did you have your hair dyed?
Yes.
It's nice, like
Thank
just before you came.
Yeah.
Blonde and
Blonded, yeah.
blondie.
It's because before anyways, yeah.
Before
It was
what?
Ginger. Everything was ginger.
Like intentionally.
I dyed everything ginger,
Oh,
yeah.
right, okay.
And then, yeah. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say that isn't it crazy, the butterfly effect of the fact that it was, how many times do people comment on YouTube videos? It was just you commenting and then me replying to your comments through a DM. And we could have finished our one collab, but now we're here and it's a friendship that has flourished for years.
How many years later? I know,
5
literally.
years. Did you think this would happen? I didn't.
Yeah.
Right?
I did. Like, honestly, this is like one of those creepy things. It's like, no, I knew we would be friends.
You need to zoom into your face.
The minute that I saw you on your YouTube
That scared me a little bit.
No, because like, do you know the weird thing is, like,
What?
even there was once a friend that I had, like, oh, this is going to get so complicated, but basically I was once at a soft play and I saw this woman, right, with her child, and I was like, we're definitely going to be friends.
Interesting.
Do you do
I'll
that?
let it pass and act like you're not creepy or anything.
No, but do you ever do that? Like, you see someone and you think, oh, like, I think we can be friends.
If I'm being honest with you, I'm weirdly like very. It's not that I'm pessimistic, but I never think I'm gonna become friends with anyone because it takes me so long to become friends with people that most of my friends are people I've been friends with for a long time. But surprisingly, thanks to YouTube, I've made new friends. But I never think I'm gonna become friends with someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I say this, but like, I'm actually very introverted. I also don't make new friends.
But you make a good pick. You have good taste. You have good taste, Vanessa.
But like, what I'm trying to say is I'm not like every
No,
week
you're
trying to
right.
find new friends.
No,
like,
you're totally right.
I literally have no friends.
Vanessa's very
And
selective.
yeah, and also, if you're out, you're out.
But also, Vanessa, you don't really need friends. Like, you're at a point in life where, like, you don't need friends, I realize. We're kind of like your side chick. I realize Nubuke and I were side pieces to you realistically, if you think about it, right? Guys, think about it. Vanessa has her own different, like, world, right? Where she has a husband and she has kids. And, like, you're busy day to day.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, so you have your friends, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Your friends are, like, your husband and your kids. So I feel like we're, like, your side chick. Oh my gosh, I've just realized, oh my gosh, I'm a side chick.
No, I do think I still need friends because, like, you have to. Obviously, like, my husband is my husband. Like, in terms of, like, obviously, I tell him everything, and like, we're like besties.
Oh, cute.
But you also need like friends that you can like, you can like, I don't know. I don't even know what you need. Well, no, I do know what I need them for.
Nice, just
To like, yeah, or like talk to.
Just chat, like, rants to. Sometimes we just need to talk a lot, yeah.
So that's that, and please do subscribe. I'll put
I have
Marintia's.
another question. Am I just making you edit longer footage? I'm so sorry. Like, whenever you talk to me and Nubuke, right? Do you feel like, wow, like, do you feel like we're like half your IQ because we're like half your age?
No,
Wait, we're not half your
I
age,
really
sorry. No, we're not half your age. Sorry.
have.
No.
All right. Well, as fun as that was,
So you're not
all
gonna answer
good
my
things
question?
have to come to an end. What was the question?
I said when you like talk to Nubuke, because our friend group is like Anna, you and Nubuke and I. Like when you talk to Nubuke and I, do you feel like our IQ is 7 years behind yours?
So I don't think age has anything to do with IQ. First of all, like I
Okay, well,
think
you get what I mean.
I just think everyone is different. Like, but I don't think you're any like
Okay, thank
dumber
you.
than me.
Oh, thank you. So you don't find like our life problems like, oh, it's so small life problems.
No, because
okay.
like everyone's dealing with different things, like, and different things are different for different people. Do I sound like I've got a high IQ? Do you know what I mean? Like,
No, for me, you have a kid, so to me that seems like one of the top highest, like hardest. things
having
to
a
do.
child is not definition of an IQ.
Okay. When I
Everyone,
say,
not
I,
everyone.
sorry, when I say IQ, I don't mean like how smart you are. Sorry, let me just rephrase. Like when you talk to us, you feel like, oh, we're like in such a very like embryo part of life, or like we're an embryo. Like everything about us is like just so like.
So when I talk to you, I don't. Sorry, I'm so tired.
Talk to you.
I'm pregnant. All right.
That's
And
nice.
it's so late, and I actually have to get up early. It's
It is 8:54. I'll let
That's
you
probably
say.
not late for you.
No, that's fine.
Like, the thing is, okay, one thing is, like, Marintia was like, why don't you come over late night? That to me, like, obviously I'm like late night, like, right, this is a late night for me,
right,
all right? And it's
okay,
like not even 9,
sorry.
it's about
You're right.
8:55.
Sorry, you're totally right. Not only did I not think about late night for like you being pregnant and stuff, I also realized like I'm just a night shift person, huh? Because
Right.
our job, like, we just edit throughout the night. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, so
I didn't
Marintia
realize.
was like, come over late night. So that's one
Yeah.
thing I would think, like,
Yeah.
I think you've got more stamina than I do. Do you know what? Actually, I don't think it's anything to do with pregnancy, because when I was 20 and pregnant with my first
Yeah,
child,
I think it's
I
a
was
fun
out at
side.
night. I was like
Oh.
clubbing.
I was about to say, I think it's the type of person, because Nubuket would say 7 p.m. is late, and she's my age.
Okay. No, because what I was gonna say is, like, when I was younger, I would be out late, but just because I'm old now. Like, late, I would be in bed.
I think also, like, old is not the age number itself, it's the life you've lived. To me, like, even though you're 32, the life you've lived is way longer, because so many people at 32 that I know don't have kids yet, but you've had 4. So to me, you're like the maturity of, well, not mature, well, you are mature, I'm not saying you're not mature, but I'm saying, like, you're like the lifetime place you're at is like someone in their late 30s or 40s, you know?
Okay.
Like, if I think 4 children, if I didn't know you, I'm saying.
yeah.
But obviously I know you, and I'm like, oh. I honestly wouldn't know you have a single kid if I didn't know you had kids,
Oh.
if we met.
If you saw me right now, I said to Marintia, like, is my bump concealed, like my baby bump? And she just wouldn't even answer, because she was basically saying, like, no, it's huge. Like, what do you think this is?
No, because I realized that the last time I was in Ghana, Vanessa had just told me that I'm pregnant. But
yeah,
then,
I think, because I remember us,
yeah, but the bump wasn't there yet. So, like, today I was like, have I seen Vanessa with a bump before? That's why I asked you earlier, like, the last time, did I see the bump? Because I realized it and so much more today.
Wow.
It's
Anyway.
he's growing.
Yeah, no, it is great. We thank God. Anyway, thank you for coming on my channel again, and
you,
I hope you have a great evening, and please subscribe to both of our YouTube channels.
Yes.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Bye.